It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Tsh, da, 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 da. Di, da, di, di, da, di, di, da, 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 da. Di, da, di, li, da, di, li, di, da. Di, da, di, li, di, da, di, li, 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 da, di, di, da, di, di, da, di, di, da.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Like all respectable content creators, we begin our channel with a deck profile. As a grown 23-year-old man, I can tell you there's nothing more manly than playing with dolls like you're a 12-year-old girl, so here's a chattel deck for you chimps. First up is 3 copies of Shaddoll Knight Unukalai, Shaddoll Sneck. As the almighty Lord Konami says, play 3 of for consistency, so this deck is all 3 of. When Sneckboy is sent to the graveyard, he can take one of his in-deck brethren with him, triggering their effect. Remember when I said we're playing all 3 of? Yeah, I lied. We play 2 copies of Girlfriend Wendy, cause like all girlfriends you want to see them sometimes but not all the time. Continuing with our lies, we play 2 copies of Shadow the Hedgehog. Some OCG player was playing this ratio, and since Asians are good at math, I'm assuming this is the right ratio. Rounding out our doll lineup, we play 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, Mystical Space Typhoon, and Gem Knight Garnet. We just needed more Shaddoll names to call this a Shaddoll deck, so here you go. For our non-Shaddoll monsters, we have 1 copy of the neighborhood Christian waifu Ecclesia and her tier 3 pokey simp Fleur-de-lis. They negate your opponent's will to live in a simp, lified game state. Be sure to buy your Ecclesia in Starlight Rare so you can flex to your friends who have girlfriends, since they won't have any money to spend on cards like you do. We also play 1 copy of the Golden Lord, aka Ains Ual Gown, aka El Dorito. You may be asking, why are we playing him and why only at 1? To that I tell you, I can't be giving away all the secrets. Go figure it out, I promise it's good. Next up we have the McDonald's secret sauce of the deck, 3 copies of Cyberstein but an insect. This card is only in here for when your opponent uses Upstart Goblin, so you can consistently FTK yourself, allowing you time to think about what you did in your life to deserve such a low IQ. If they don't use Upstart Goblin, just send Shaddoll Cologne and Tita Nicklad the Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town, I guess, and play the game. Onto the hand trap lineup. 3 copies of Forehead Fetish and Feet Picks. When you play this card, it allows you to lie to your opponent, telling them they already drew or searched their card, as they will be too distracted by the feet or forehead to remember. Finishing off the monsters, we have 3 copies of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. If your opponent overextends like his monkey ass is programmed to do, use this card to call forth The Rock to cook up some ass beating for your opponent as you send his cards to the Purple Realm. If you're a true duelist, you will also use an actual rock for the token that he will receive. Starting off the spells, we have 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion. This one's so self-explanatory, if you don't know what it does, please go see a doctor. With that said, since I know none of you read or have any sort of brain function, it fusion summons Shaddoll monsters. Following up the Shaddoll Fusion, we play 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion 2, Electric Boogaloo. And like movie sequels, it's the same thing but faster and worse. But like pizza, even the crappy ones are still pretty good. For our final fusion card, we have 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Like all good communists, I believe what's yours is mine, so your monsters are now my fusion materials. And also, like communism suggests, you have no say in this. Moving away from fusion spells, we play 3 copies of Ecclesia's OnlyFans. For the low price of $77 each, you can have access to good Christian girl Ecclesia's hidden pics. Buy now and you might have your chance with a Belle Delphine look-alike. Rounding out our spells, we play 1 copy of Shaddoll Schemata, 1 copy of Say No to Lawless, and 1 copy of Twin Twisters on steroids. You can play more, but then you'd be cheating. Keep in mind, if you're not cheating, you're not trying before you believe these ratios. We play 3 traps cause I read they're necessary somewhere, so play these 3. We play them at 1 because Yugi only plays 1 of, so if it's good enough for him, it must be good enough for us. We led off the extra deck with 2 copies of Shaddoll Applied Cologne. We use 2 because if you smell like shit at an event you will get DQ'd. Apply your goddamn cologne and deodorant, you filthy animals. We follow it up with 2 copies of Mommy Construct. If feminism has taught me anything, it's that single moms don't need no man. Combine that with my galactic brain of thinking 2 is better than 1, 2 single mommy constructs means double the single mom power. Now if you're asking, then why not play 3, let me ask you, can you afford 3 ulti constructs? We move on to 2 copies of Stepsister Winda. Like all porno stepsisters, she's a femdom master and will restrict your opponent from playing. Last of the Shaddolls we have the one I can't pronounce. I'll be honest here, I have no idea what it does, but it can be summoned using Gale Dogra, so that's pretty funny. For the rest of the fusions we play the 2 that we can't even make. Why, you may ask? Well, read the goddamn cards, they clearly do something, you apes. Onto the Link monsters. We have 1 invoked Almiraj and 1 invoked Gardna. They're here for the same reason invoked plays them, to make the Mechaba that we're not playing. We also play 1 GameCube controller cause we're a boomer and 1 meta sheep cause they both do stuff with fusion monsters. I hear OCG has a Moon Mommy in Genesis Impact that does a better job than the useless controller, so yay, look forward to that. And finally we have Triff Gaming as a female children's playing card. Since Pendulum is the undisputed best deck since 2020 BC to present day, you must play this card in every deck if you don't want your butthole torn by the rooster of Endymion. Oh, I almost forgot, access code Talker is also in here. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and hit that subscribe button like you would hit on your hot stepsister. Don't forget there's a notification bell too, so you never miss another top of the line deck profile that only Blue Tang clan members have the brain cells to pilot. Ray out.